What do billionaires have in common? They read a lot, as I recommend to apply as well as being part of your daily habits. Hey everybody, the Tempt here. This video is focused on one of the most successful investors in the world, the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, billionaire Warren Buffett, and he shares part 1 of his top 5 book recommendations. Starting with The Little Book of Common Sense Investing, The Only Way to Guarantee Your Fair Share of Stock Market Returns, by John Bogle. This book is a classic guide to getting smart about the market. Legendary mutual fund pioneer John Bogle reveals his key to getting more out of investing, which is low-cost index funds. Bogle describes the simplest and most effective investment strategy for building wealth over the long term. He recommends to buy and hold, at a very low cost, a mutual fund that tracks a broad stock market index such as S&P 500. Bogle shows you how to make index investing work for you and help you achieve your financial goals. While index investing allows you to sit back and let the market do the work for you, too many investors trade frantically, turning a winner's game into a loser's game. The Little Book of Common Sense Investing is a solid guidebook to your financial future. And next up on his list, Business Adventures, 12 Classic Tales from the World of Wall Street, by John Brooks. What do the $350 million Ford Motor Company disaster known as Edsel, the fast and incredible rise of Xerox, and the unbelievable scandals at General Electric and Texas Gulf Sulfur have in common? Each is an example of how an iconic company was defined by a particular moment of fame or notoriety. These notable and fascinating accounts are as relevant today to understanding the intricacies of corporate life as they were when the events happened. Stories about Wall Street are infused with the drama and adventure and reveal the machinations of volatile nature of the world of finance. John Brooks' insightful reportage is so full of personality and critical detail that whether he is looking at the astounding market crash of 1962, the collapse of the well-known brokerage firm, or the bold attempt by the American bankers to save the British pound, one gets the sense that history really does repeat itself. Next up on Buffett's list, Stress Test: Reflections on Financial Crisis, by Timothy Geithner. As president of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, and then as President Barack Obama's Secretary of Treasury, Timothy Geithner helped the United States navigate the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, from boom to bust to rescue to recovery. In a candid, riveting, and historically illuminating memoir, he takes the readers behind the scenes of the crisis, explaining the hard choices and politically unpalatable decisions he made to repair a broken financial system and prevent the collapse of the Main Street economy. This is the inside story of how a small group of policymakers, in a thick fog of uncertainty, with unimaginably high stakes, helped avoid a second depression, but lost the American people doing it. Stress Test is also a valuable guide to how governments can better manage financial crises, because this one won't be the last. In this revealing memoir, Timothy Geithner explains how America withstood the ultimate test of its political and financial systems. And for the fourth book, The Clash of the Cultures: Investment versus Speculation, by John Bogle. The prudent, value-adding culture of the long-term investment has been crowded by an aggressive, value-destroying culture of short-term speculation. Bogle has not been merely an eyewitness to these changes, but one of the financial sector's most active participants. In The Clash of Cultures, he urges a return to the common sense of principles of long-term investing. John Bogle recounts the history of the index mutual fund, how he created it, and how exchange-traded index funds have altered its original concept of long-term investing. He also presents a first-hand history of the Wellington Fund, a real-world case study on the success of investment and the failure of speculation. The book concludes with 10 simple rules that will help investors meet their financial goals. And last up on his list, The Most Important Thing Illuminated: Uncommon Sense for the Thoughtful Investor, by Howard Marks and Paul Johnson. Informed by a lifetime of experience and study, The Most Important Thing explains the key to successful investment and the pitfalls that can destroy a capital or ruin a career. This book teaches by example, detailing the development of an investment philosophy that fully acknowledges the complexities of investing and the perils of the financial world. Applying insight to today's volatile markets, Mark offers a volume that is part memoir, part creed, with a number of broad takeaways. Mark expounds on such concepts as second-level thinking, the price-value relationship, patient opportunism, and defensive investing. Frankly and honestly assessing his own decisions, and occasionally missteps, he provides valuable lessons for critical thinking, risk assessment, and investment strategy. encouraging investors to be contrarian, Mark wisely judges market cycles, and achieves returns through aggressive yet measured action. Successful investing requires thoughtful attention to many separate aspects, and each of Mark's subjects proves to be the most important thing. This is part 1 of Warren Buffett's top 5 book recommendations. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've respectively left you guys links in the description if you want to check any of these books out. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe for more book recommendations. Stay tuned for part 2.